Monthly segment here at 5:30. Connect to the Capitol. Governor Dan McKee joins us live in studio now to talk about snow cleanup and what to do about those high utility prices in the state. Governor, always good to see you. Thanks for making some time.
Right back at you, Dan.
A week ago Sunday, we had a huge storm. People are still digging out. I want to know how you thought the state did overall in clearing highways and byways.
Well, first, thanks to all the snow plowers out there. I think that we got a good grade there. I'll let the people decide, but I'm pleased with the way that we removed the snow from our state roads.
The challenge with a lot of leaders now is in a week like this where the cold is here and you can no longer dump that snow into the ocean, they're trying to find new ways or new pieces of equipment to try to get rid of that snow. Is that something that's been on any discussion level this week with you?
Absolutely. We use a lot of the state property to be able to dump the snow. We're also making that available to some municipalities, right, that are having some issues with moving the snow from their streets.
Yeah, Providence is having a tough time as well.
Yeah, the cold weather is bad.
Yeah, and cold weather means that you need to turn on the heat, and we want to talk a little bit about Rhode Island energy and utility prices. It was a big part of your State of the State, which we carried here live. You want to give $1 billion to try to lower prices for the average person in Rhode Island.
We need to provide relief to the ratepayer. And in the State of the State, which is an affordability for all strategy, was to put in measures that would lower the cost by $1 billion in 5 years. We'll work with the General Assembly. You know, what I give to the General Assembly, what I get back are not always the same, but we are going to work to maximize the way that we can continue the path towards the issues, the environmental issues that we've set. But this is the moment in time where we need to provide relief.
Some of your critics say that the way that the structure in which you're going to get that kind of money is almost kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. How do you respond to your critics?
I don't agree. I think that the savings that we're looking for are doable. And we need to make sure that our economy is our #1 priority. Like I said, we'll stay on track in terms of our long-term goals in terms of the Act on Climate. But right now, it is about providing relief to our ratepayers.
All right. One of the things that you were very big on is a line item veto. And basically what that means here at home, if you put your budget together and you're looking at one area where you're spending too much, you need to go down to that line and say, okay, we can't go out on Sunday night for dinner. Right? That would be like a line item in an average budget. You don't get that as the governor of Rhode Island. You either accept a budget or you don't accept a budget. And you want the power to kind of go through the lines and say, not here.
Last year I didn't sign the budget because I think that we had increases on gas, increases on health, increases on some real estate cost. And so what I'm asking the General Assembly to do this time is let the voters decide whether we become like the 47th state, or about 46 states have a line item veto, the governors do. Let the voters decide, and it gives a flexibility, and that's part of our affordability for all plan, Dan, right, is to put the governor in a position where we can continue to control cost in a way that we currently don't have.
Do you think that the legislature would be open to that? Have you spoken to the Speaker, Sakarchi?
I haven't. I've let him know in advance of the budget going out that this was on it, and now ongoing conversations will go on with the leadership, the Speaker, the Senate President, about all the things we have. Let's get rid of the Social Security tax that once and for all. Let's make sure we have a child tax credit that provides $325 to every family in the state. Let's make sure these energy things go on. We're looking at extending the Hope Scholarship for Rhode Island College as well. So there's many things in there that we think are very important, lowering the gas tax as well. So we think it's time to make sure that we create affordability, keep the economy going. 36,000 jobs have been added since
But you want the power to go through one line at a time and say yes or no.
The line item veto, I think, is essential for long-term, containing costs in the state of Rhode Island.
Right. I want to get to ICE protests. We had a huge protest last week, even with all the snow coverage in front of the State House. Your Lieutenant Governor, Sabina Matos, was quoted as saying that she wants to abolish ICE. I wanted to know what you think about that, and do you agree with her?
Well, first of all, I'm very concerned about Secretary Noem. I've asked for her resignation because we're violating civil rights. We are, exposing violence to U.S. citizens, which I think could have clearly been avoided. So we're going to work to prevent as much as we can. Preventative strategies make sense. But ICE, we will work with ICE, as I've said this multiple times.
But she said she wants to abolish ICE. Do you agree with her or not?
No, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with her?
I think there's a role, especially to remove criminals and violent criminals from the state of Rhode Island. We will work with ICE to do that. I've been on the record to say that. But we're not going to profile your family or my family. That's a civil rights violation, and we're going to make sure that we follow our Constitution in that respect.
I have 2 minutes, Governor. I want to get to two more subjects. First, Fatima and Roger Williams Hospital. Is there any lifeline for them?
I think there is, and I think that working with the Speaker, the Senate President, along with the Attorney General and our office, we have put in legislation for $18 million that would be appropriated as a backstop for that transaction with Centurion. They're indicating, and we believe that there is a path for them to get the financing that they've been trying to get for the last year. If that all gets put in place, we're going to keep people employed. We're going to keep the care that they provide, the nurses and the doctors there for the people who use those two hospitals.
All right, I want to get to the rally yesterday and the picture that you shared with me, which was really fun. That's you, and that is, of course, Robert Kraft, the president of the Patriots, and that's Olivia DeRocha, your press secretary right there. You were at the rally yesterday, so one can assume where you stand in terms of sides of the game here on NBC 10, the Super Bowl.
Look, I'm a big Patriot fan. I was at games in the 1970s before Robert Kraft bought the team. Yeah. Today, it's a source of a great deal of pride, and Robert Kraft knows, and that Rhode Islanders, he really is very excited about Rhode Islanders over the years supporting that team, the Patriots. Let's bring that trophy home. By the way, that I mentioned to Mr. Kraft, that trophy needs to come back for the New England Patriots, but also remember, we actually manufacture that trophy right here in Rhode Island.
In Cumberland.
In Cumberland, Rhode Island.
You sound like you used to be the mayor there. I don't know, but I think
for a couple of years. That's why I'm so interested in the snow removal.
There you go.
And pleased with what the state has done, and certainly we're ready to support any community that needs our help.
All right, Governor, always good. We covered a lot today. They're holding me right there, though, so go Patriots.
Okay, Dan.
We'll agree on that.
Thank
That's
you,
the
Dan.
one thing we'll agree on.
Let's get that trophy back here where it belongs.
All right, Molly?